like, it's hilarious.
I want to make sure you know when we're starting so you don't miss the
nod. It
nod.
just looks so funny. Hello, heroes. Welcome to our monthly newsletter for March 2018. I'm Margaret Crone, you know Enter Elysium, and Bentha Plays. We are here. We're going to try to make this a little bit quicker because people have stuff to do and it is getting late. Or early, I don't know. Everything's all meshing together at this point.
Probably
we had
early.
a really long meeting after a full day of shows. So let's start things off with the shows this month. We just had the finale of Pirates of the Broken Skies this week. So how you guys feeling about that? I know EE's probably a little sad. He's like, let me just timely take this drink so I don't have to talk.
It's a sad drink, apparently.
Yeah, sad drink. It's just whiskey.
We
I'm
have
just
your
drowning
body,
myself.
though. We put you in the captain's quarters. I've made like a refrigerator device.
No, nobody was like, so do you know anyone who's resurrection magic? Everyone was just like, yeah, we just put his body in the room and we're done. It's like,
well, we got to get off the
find-
island first.
Yeah, I find D&D Resurrection weird because I'm relatively. I've never played a D&D campaign where resurrection has happened, so I find a person who's dead and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bury them. And everyone's like, what are you doing that for? You gotta keep the corpse and then you're gonna go get a dive. And I'm like, what? In what world is this normal?
You don't normally do that. I don't think. It's high tier, like adventure, or if you have a lot of money.
Isn't there like a 5th level spell to get people back? There's a 3rd level spell if you've got a minute, but it has to be within a minute of them dying.
Yeah.
I think I was looking at it and like there's a slightly lower level spell that can heal them if there's a corpse, or bring them back if they're a corpse, and then there's a higher level one where you just need something that they owned or something like that.
And then there's the like level 9 one, which is like, provided they didn't die of old age, they're back, just regardless of what happened.
I remember like back in the day, we like just cut off someone's finger and we brought the finger back and we were able to like resurrect them with that. Because you just needed a part of them. You didn't need like their whole body. So you didn't have to carry around like a whole dead corpse with you everywhere, which is very unreasonable.
Yeah, gonna start smelling and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why I was saying Zinzi created that contraption.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm like, I mean, we can put him in there from the moment, but we gotta have a funeral before we go anywhere because it's a week to Turagoa.
But before we go too deep into things, we should probably talk about our special supporters.
So the supporter for episode 7 this month was DJ Hendrix, and that's all for the actual main Pirates ones. But we did also have the Mystery of Alethea supporter, who was Cicero 5.
Yes, thank you so much, Cicero. And that was fun for me. I really enjoyed it. Although I was very nervous. I don't know. I'm so nervous about those things. And it didn't go quite as planned for me, but I don't think it ever does for GMs. But I definitely had a lot of fun. And Pirates was so fun. I'm gonna miss playing Zinzi a lot.
Especially since you just got to level where your thunder cannon was suddenly badass and you didn't miss every time.
I've just got to the point where I can transform into a bear.
I love that you transform into a bear and then you just get knocked out.
If he didn't, if he wasn't a bear, he might have got knocked out for reals.
Yeah, it was 19 health. I think if I hadn't been a bear, I would have been very close to death.
Yeah, no, it was a good call.
No,
yeah, and the second time I transformed into a bear, I got to do some cool stuff, like I murdered the snake, and then failed to do anything to Billingsworth because, ew.
I mean, artificers take off about level 4 to 6, and they last until like level 12ish with being awesome, because that's where they get the super damage. Until then, they're kind of like, just for crappy stuff.
I don't know. I still had fun with my character. Like, even though I was lower level, because he allowed me to do lots of gadgets and like it wasn't so much the main things that are artificer. It was more of like the little minuscule things that we like allowed her to do.
Yeah, like you were very important on the ship because you're engineering stuff, and then everything was fun. You made a mech suit. You made a dog.
I made a mech suit, and I had a doggo, so pretty cool.
Druid
I didn't get to
needs
use the mech suit, which would have been really badass and fun, but I think it worked out way better having Mr. Collins do it. So.
You did get to breathe lightning.
I did get to breathe lightning. So did you.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty cool. I don't know. I think Pirates was really fun, and obviously, it shows on the viewership end. You guys were there and consistent. We had consistent CCV, and then as well as on YouTube, we had an insane amount of views on YouTube. So, I don't know why there's so many more YouTubes. I think it's probably because a lot of people who want to watch it maybe don't have time to watch the live show.
I think
why Pirates in particular?
I think we got a lot of new people in with it because of like Stephen and Jen.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I imagine, have been waiting for Stephen to GM something new because it's been over a year since last time he'd done anything. So
Yeah, I don't know how long it had been since he'd done stuff, but I know it might not have been a full year because I know for GMing maybe, but he did play some characters on like Miss Clucks and stuff. So, but
yeah, I think a lot of his viewers turned up and were interested to watch that, and so they're watching on YouTube because they don't necessarily have the time to watch on. It's a Saturday. You'd expect people to be free, but then people they make other plans on Saturdays.
Other people have lives, unlike us. We're like,
People
what
have
are
lives?
those? You do things
I
that
hear
are
that
not
other
too-
people like do things on weekends, like they plan lots of stuff and they go to places.
Beth and I
you
were
mean like
talking about
planning
holidays.
RPGs?
We were talking about holidays because it's obviously Easter today when we're recording this, and we're like, yeah. He's like, oh, I have family here, but I've been in my room working on Roll4It all day.
Yeah, I had family visiting today, but they arrived like just before we started the show today, so I haven't seen them yet.
Hey, at least we gave you a good excuse.
He's like, but yeah, Pirates has been pretty crazy and amazing. So thank you guys for all the support on that end. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I know a lot of people have been tweeting at us, telling us that Steven needs to come back, and we're definitely talking to him. So we'll see what happens for future stuff.
No, we're not talking to him. As soon as he left, we stopped talking. We deleted him on social media.
I know that him in particular, I know he may be interested in future stuff. Jen has kind of opted out of stuff. I think she's just really, really busy with stuff.
Yeah, she's got a lot of stuff she does. Steven,
a lot of work. She has a game launching, right? What's the name of the game?
They just named it, didn't they? They named it the other week. I can't remember.
Yeah,
Probably look at my history.
That was neat. That like the whole series is like, I'm working on a secret unnamed project I'm not allowed to name, and then for the final episode is like, we have the name.
That was true. That was pretty neat.
And she also got muted because Moobot muted her when she posted the link to it. And then our mods are all like, oh no. But it was kind of funny. But yeah, so it's been a pretty crazy journey. Pirates was really fun. It was kind of a short series because only 10. Well, it's technically 9 episodes. 10 if you count Mystery of Alethea. But yeah, and I know he's been pumping out some stuff. He's got some more GM stuff, right?
Oh yeah, he's given me more GM stuff to do, and I think there's even more coming for like the very final plans for stuff. Because I think he's got the document for the mission up till when till after we've captured the ship, the Talos Pursuit.
Yeah, so I think every week you're probably going to get something GM related, if not from him, from EE. I don't know if Lauren has any other GM stuff coming, or did she already?
Lauren said she's going to scan all of her notes for Avalon and let them be uploaded as well. So that's going to be interesting.
All right, so you guys are going to have plenty of GM content coming out here, and then as well as player stuff for our new shows. So we'll talk a little bit about that as we go. So speaking of Lauren, let's move on to Avalon High, if you guys don't mind. Cool with that? Avalon High School. We also ended Avalon High School with the finale a couple weeks ago or a week ago. Everything's meshing together. So let's first talk about what?
1 week ago exactly.
1 week ago exactly. First, let's talk about our special supporters. So take it away, Bentham.
So we had a lot of supporters for this one. Every episode got a supporter. Everyone wanted in on it. And we have, for episode 5, we had Zarfi or Jarfi. It's an X. I never know how to pronounce X's. It's really weird.
Zarfi?
X. Yeah.
Zarfi? Zarfi?
Maybe.
Zarfe?
I don't know.
Tell us how to say it properly.
I generally say Zarfi. Because I think I was told what it was and forgot because I'm terrible. But yes, he was the supporter for episode 5. We had, for episode 6, Oberon Naga supporting. For episode 7, we had Tall Child supporting. And for episode 8, the finale, we had Miss Amy Hoyle, who backseated that one quickly.
Yeah. That was a lot of support for that show, so thank you guys so much for that. We really, really appreciate it. I know how much people liked it. It oddly did not have many people using their sex moves, which, you know, for a Monster Hearts game, people were expecting that. But I think we get really into the story and the RP, and people are so true to their characters that we just don't go for the crazy stuff sometimes.
We embraced the maximum drama. We went all in on being dramatic. And I don't think anyone picked any characters that were actually focused on hot, right?
Not a 2. No one had a 2. I had a 1.
Yeah, I had -1. I went cold and volatile. We had 2 that were main volatile and then secondary either.
Josh and I were dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by accident, I think we all didn't pick anyone that was supposed to like be rolling to turn people on and stuff. It was just lots of cold rolls and
by nature the game
abyss rolls.
Implies that. I think. Yeah.
Like a lot of the rolls are, you don't necessarily need to rock or roll hot. Like there's a lot of story times. It's just like you're going to succeed whatever you roll. Maybe it just depends on how good the success is. Like I know that when Josh was having his character interact with Mariko, Lauren was just like, you're just going to succeed. So, you know, just roll if you want, but.
Which I think like you should roll
anyway.
Been
set up for it.
Yeah.
It's like we all had particular characters in mind, and we based those to a certain extent off our choices of stats. So like I picked a maximum cold character because I'm like, I'm gonna be making speeches and like denouncing people and just trying to like shut everyone down. So that's what I'm going for, and no one particularly went for I'm gonna try and seduce everyone, apart from maybe Morgan, but without the backing of stats.
Yeah, Morgan was like dark, sexual type thing.
It's probably like dark and hot. It could have been dark.
But then they found love. Kind of.
I found a shallow grave, so. No, I didn't even find a shallow grave. There was no body.
Oh my gosh, EE, you died in both of the games. You died in both of the game finales. Oh my god, I did not think about that at all.
I didn't realize that.
I just realized that now. Oh my god.
Damn. Is this like a sign? It's like a...
I just need to GM. It's just me. I just need to GM.
I mean, this is the thing. We were saying that when you stopped GMing, everyone was going to get revenge on you, and now you're just dying everywhere.
Except for Steven wasn't even there. He's channeling all the revenge from everyone else. Oh my god.
He could tell. Or maybe
I don't know how I didn't think of that. I just thought of that now that you had died in both.
I think I'm the only like non-optional character death on Roll4It.
What do you mean non-optional?
Oh yeah, with Vermilion. With Lance, you definitely you
optional. You had a choice.
Well, someone had to die. It wasn't no one dies. It was someone had to die.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people were willing to die. Like I know I was willing to die.
I mean optional is
Archie
in like
was supposed to die.
I mean,
and I gave it to Archie.
No, I refuse.
I mean, optional is in people choosing to retire their character via death, as opposed to like the storyline demands a death or the roles demand a death. Like we've had, I think, 1 or 2 characters retire when people decide to retire them and they die. But I don't think we've had... I think this is the first time we've actually had characters die because A, the storyline demands in Avalon, or B, crazy rolls in Pirates. So... Was there another... There was no other player death I can think of.
Like, so we've... Like, in the past, we've had Sandeep, and that was one where there was the okay to kill him before we killed him. And there was...
That's true.
Carolinus, who could have come back but chose not to.
Well, could have burned a fate point, an edge point, whatever, effectively.
Yeah.
So that was like
I guess maybe you wanted to die.
Yeah, you opt to phase out your character. The Sandy
that
was
a
true.
Fun moment to have a momentary like nostalgia trip of like I do remember the moment where he's like I die, and then it was like and you said to him, okay, so you're spending a fate point. He said no, I die, and you laughed thinking it was a joke, and I'm like, I'm not sure that was a joke.
Yep.
They just stayed quiet, and then you went, okay, so you spend your fate points. You went, no, I die. Like, wait, you mean you die? Okay, you die.
That didn't throw out my entire plot for a season at all.
That was a fun moment.
Okay, so you're fighting the bad guy who you have no connection to whatsoever, but that's cool.
He saved my life. That was his thing. He sacrificed his own for mine.
Yeah, so I'm the first non-optional, non-RP, I guess, because the Sandeep thing was kind of an optional RP thing. With Versailles.
Vermilion could have been saved because I was like, I could transform back out of a bear and heal you. I have
made a difference. Doesn't matter what my health is. Insta kill doesn't matter. We've been through this.
Yeah, it's insta kill. I have played in many campaigns with Silent Osiris, and I have died in many of them. So, but I'm personally of the I don't care if I die, even if it's not my choice. Like I'm always fine with dying as a character if it if like something hits me and it hits me. But I think that it's definitely epic moments when someone dies. Like it can be crazy.
No, I'm generally okay with that as well, especially if you've had a chance to like get far enough with your character.
See, I didn't get very far with one of my characters. We played Pendragon, and which is how fitting because we're talking about Avalon High School too. And I got one shot by a griffin, like totally mauled. Like there was nothing I could do about it. But I came back as a different character, which was fun. And there was basically just a love story that was left unsaid. And at the end of the season, DJ Wheat's character basically read the poem that my character had written for the chick that he loved. She was like a fairy. She's like a fairy chick, so it probably would never have worked. He was also a really stupid knight. He's like a really dumb knight. I think his name was Sir Ronald. So if anybody remembers those days, they might remember Sir Ronald. But it's fun. Sometimes dying is fun, even if it's not your choice. At first you're like, well, that sucks. I just got one-shotted. But then when you get to come back and you get to live through the story, it can be kind of cool. Hearing about your character's path, like the stories that people would talk about Vermilion and stuff like that. Because you think that Vermilion didn't do a lot, but like all of us were like, no, you did a ton of stuff, dude.
Yeah, I pointed out that he blew a ship up twice, though it was the same ship, but he blew it up twice.
How many people?
And in doing so, blew up another ship as well. And while jumping from the ship and then feather falling at the last second to survive the impact, and then surviving the shockwave explosion of both ships going down and their magical engines exploding and momentarily causing magical havoc.
All right, I'm gonna move us on to the next one.
I was going to say we have gone like 20 minutes already, and we're aiming for we've been doing more and more recently, so we're trying to aim for 40.
I told them before, I was like, yeah, we'll try to go fast, but I say that now, and I think we're not going to. Moving on to Code 2050. Moving on to Code 2050. We didn't have any special supporters for Code 2050, so we don't have to go over that right now. But thank you to all of our supporters who have supported all of our shows. We really appreciate it. I think there's so many shows now that there's not enough people to support all the shows necessarily.
Yeah.
So Code 2050 has been crazy. You two are now joining us, which has been pretty fun. That was a crazy spoilers. If you haven't watched the last episode, you should go watch it. We won't talk about in depth what that entails. But yay.
Is that the tie that just looks like the Layla tie?
It does look like the Layla tie. No, the
Layla tie is not blue.
It looks blue. The Layla tie is red and white and silver, right? Yeah, but it looked like you were wearing a blue tie today.
Oh yeah, today I couldn't find my Layla tie. I couldn't find. I literally have the Layla tie around here. I remember looking at it yesterday and being like, "Excellent, I've got my Layla tie." Couldn't find it today. Luckily, I play teachers rather than just students all the time, so I can vary a little bit. But I was aiming. I'm
sorry, but looking at that tie, I can't tell whether it's red or blue. I can just tell it's dark something.
It's definitely.
Okay, now I can tell it's blue because it's right there. But
why are you shaking so much? He's like,
I'm holding it arm's length. I'm like,
and it's 3 a.m. So.
But let's talk a little bit about Code 2050. It's been crazy. We just had another explosive ending to another arc, which has been nuts. And
I'm hiding under my umbrella with Ziggy.
We're going to be starting up a prequel, talking about these two guys as characters. So you guys will want to tune into that if you haven't already. And then moving forward, we won't have any more breaks. We're just going to have a full show after that episode. So that episode is kind of a little weird because it's we basically figured we need to not have those breaks. So going forward, there won't be any more breaks. And then after that episode, we'll have a consistent cast and it won't change anymore. So that was one of the things that we wanted to change, was like having all these cast changes just wasn't really working, we think. So going forward, we will have a consistent cast. I think Smatter will still be involved potentially as like that character that's bonus, but the main cast of people will stay the same. Yeah. So that'll at least be less jarring for people, because I think people keep coming in, they're like, signal us, why is this person gone? Like there's a lot of questions and we just want to like
it's also easier to RP as well. Like if you can RP bounce of each other and be like, I want to bounce with so-and-so about the, oh, they're not here today.
Yeah.
I'm going to bounce.
And so
I'm pretty sure
Brandon's character
yeah.
has the coma thing. So until we solve that problem, obviously his character can't do much. And then Win-Win is kind of like they're friends. So like that was the point of those two characters. So it's been
we can solve this.
Yeah. What?
Solve the coma by death. Solution.
I think though that my favorite episode was with just the three characters though, because that was really fun. It was like with Jameer and Ziggy, and we just like had this funny adventure, and I was like, oh, now I kind of just want to have adventures with us.
Yes. Wait, you're saying that you don't want me and Bentham around? You prefer not having me and Bentham around?
We haven't had a full episode with you guys, so I don't know how that's gonna play out, because your guys' characters weren't part of our group necessarily. Like at the end, we didn't even like really work together yet. I don't want to spoil it for people, but I think...
Virgil, what do you think of that? It doesn't sound particularly endearing.
I'm just saying.
I want to hear the Virgil voice. That's why I'm doing the Oxford voice, because I want to hear the Virgil voice.
Oh, well, they clearly don't know what we're capable of yet.
Quite. I love the Virgil voice so much. Sorry.
It's because he's an orc. But yeah, I think that's kind of what we got for Code 2050. We are working on that, so hopefully you guys like that change and you enjoy it. And of course, I think it's gonna be awesome having EE and Bentham on the show, so I hope you guys do too. Let us know in the comments what you think.
It's also really good to see the beginning of the Orc trilogy.
The Dwarf trilogy is over, now it's the Orc trilogy,
they
apparently.
want me to go fast, and then they
Sorry, I'm not the one who spent 20 minutes talking about Vermilion.
Also, this new character arc coming.
I'm sorry, we won't ever talk about one of your characters again.
There is new character art though, that is true, and it looks really badass.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
So good.
Which I should probably get that so I can promote stuff on social.
It's not finished yet. It's beta.
Layla, the Vampire Slayer, as we're recording this, technically it's in April. We'll talk about it in our April newsletter, but we just want to say that we had our first episode and it was awesome. He looks like
I was so nervous. I don't know if I can judge it. I'm like, I could have been better. I don't know. And
the whole time he's been doing that, he's like, I could be better. He's like, what can we do better? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to fill out this thing so we could do this. And he's like asking me all these questions.
Answering, which means she thought it was terrible, and that's why I'm worried.
It's my mind is like focused.
She didn't deny it. She didn't deny it.
It was terrible. It was so terrible. No, it wasn't terrible. I had fun.
That's what
it was like we never left.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit. We had to get used to it again. I think once we get back into it, like towards the end, I think everyone was kind of getting back into their characters. But I think it just takes a moment, right? Whenever you've been gone from characters for so long. But I mean, the opening was so Layla. Like it was very much a Layla the Vampire Slayer, like series.
Yeah, that
like,
was
it was perfect.
Nicely done.
Specifically, the reason that existed, for those of you at home who are wondering, is because people who are new to the series need to get instantly an idea what it's about, including people who are, who've seen season 1 and like, yeah, we know exactly what the gist is here. So the date part is like, finally, Imogen and Layla got the date. That's for people in season 1. But also, hey, there's school students who go on dates and stuff and also kill vampires while they're doing it. And that's just part of their life now for people who are new to kind of get that summary really quick. That's why it's designed that way. So it was a pre-credit sequence.
I think we're gonna have to try to explain things as we go whenever we're referencing stuff from season 1. But definitely, I'm very excited, and I think we have characters with so much depth now, like more depth than like we have months and months of like background story.
It's like for a normal campaign, you write a backstory, but for this, it's like, well, we have one. It was last season.
Yeah, like your characters.
We can work off of that.
Yeah, are your own backstory. Like the characters, you don't need to try and figure out what the character would do because you already know what the character would do. It's kind of it has its own personality and persona now, as opposed to trying to develop
changed
that
so
on the
much.
fly.
Like I think when I was looking at my progression of my character, it was like a very different character from season 1 to season 2. So I think that's been very exciting, and I'm excited to see where the future goes. And I think this was a great first episode to get people like back into the swing of things, really understand the high school aspect of it.
It was great. There we go. She said it was great. Yay. That's one of the things I really like about long form. It's hard to do it often, as you know, speaking as people who run the show, because it's hard to get people who can commit for that long to a thing, and also people who can commit for that long who we know can commit for that long. But long form does allow these personas to take place that people like really love, and you've got like people in the Discord are like, oh my god, this person, which is great, and it's so good that they get to round out a personality and then become a person.
And we will have episodes where, I mean, we already know everyone's schedule for the most part. So I know, like, for instance, there's a couple people who will not be able to make a couple episodes. So we will have some guest spots, which, you know, maybe we'll bring back some old guests from season 1, or we'll have some new characters. So I think you guys are going to be very excited for season 2. It's going to be madness. It's going to be crazy and a lot of fun. So I'm definitely excited.
Yeah.
And I think that moves us forward into Cheese Quest, which starts April 7th. I don't know what EE wants to talk about and specifically with this. We've announced all the characters for the episode, so you guys can
except for
definitely
the
check
secret character that people at Hero Tier who've obviously seen the character generation video probably know about. I won't spoil it, but there's a secret character. Yeah.
But if you watch the character creation video, then you have seen that.
Yeah.
That will get announced publicly later down the line. But yes. Did you change it to Cheese Quest music?
I did just put the Cheese Quest playlist on for this show, I'll be honest. Hi, after show. Hi, newsletter people. This is Cheese Quest music.
After show.
I know. It's ingrained into my memory, like Pavlov's dog. So yeah, Cheese Quest. I'm looking forward to it. We've got all the social assets, the trailer and all that have been released. It's all cool. I'm hyped. It was weird that I've never done Dungeon World or Apocalypse World before at all. And I'm making a hack and GMing it as my first time playing the system. So that's a thing.
Yeah, maybe we'll share the full rules and stuff with peeps later down the line. But yeah, he wrote like a full basically game. So madness. So stay tuned for that. We'll have more to talk about that and how that's been going. But generally, if we can look over all our shows, we know our general CCV is down, but we have been looking at what we can do to improve that. In general, I think it's a lot of like show timing, as well as I think a lot of people are watching on YouTube, which is a good thing as well because our YouTube views are insanely high. So I think some of that might be you guys also letting us know what times work good for you guys so that we can make sure that we're working with schedules. In general, I think that we've been kicking butt and we've been concurrently really well, really stable. And obviously we're working really hard on some really cool things, and we got a lot more shows planned that we just can't even share with you guys yet. There will be more projects. What names will Bentham come up with? That's the question.
They have to be orc names. All orc names. Oh wait, for the shows, for the projects. Okay, that's true. Sorry, I was thinking characters.
What I need to remember is that next time we launch 2 secret projects, I should not have them both begin with the same letter, because I've done that twice in a row now.
Steve and Spark were so hard. We'd get confused which one was which.
I didn't.
And then there was also, what was it? There was Cheese and...
Castle.
Something else. Was it Cheese and Castle? It might have been Cheese and Castle.
Oh yeah, they all started with the same letter. Why, Bentham?
There was also Layla, which was not codenamed, so...
Yeah, we didn't codename it.
We never gave that a code name because we just used the same... We already had...
But Castle launched at the same time as... Broken Skies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Bethany's definitely going to check acronyms before we name shows in future, so we don't end up with popped BS.
I think was it live during the first episode of
Yes,
Pirates?
it was the very beginning of the very first episode. We were like, "Hi, welcome to Pirates of Broken Skies," and Bethany was there going, and you could see like the little like diagrams of math symbols appearing around his head, like, "Huh, that acronym was pop BS," and we were like,
because it was like. Because I was thinking Pirates of the Caribbean, POTC, and they're like, POT... Oh, no. Hold on, we can shorten this. PBS. Ah, crap. Maybe just Broken Skies. BS. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yep.
What have we done? There's no way of making this into something unique and also not double meaning.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well... Future wise, we'll think about a lot of the times we just let the GM kind of pick the name of the show because they're like, oh, this is the idea that I have, and we're kind of like, oh, that makes sense.
I think it was
so let's go, unless it's like absurdly stupid.
I think it was open to change because at one point he called it Pirates of the Shattered Skies while we were still like developing
Pirates of the Sky Seas or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think there were a few, and so I should have spotted it and been like, maybe roll that back to one of your previous names.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters too much. It's more memorable. It's a feature.
It was some great BS.
Moving on. We're gonna get into the stats. We should hopefully be able to go through these pretty quickly, like we always do. We just like want to keep you guys up to date. I mean, obviously you can find most of these stats online if you really were looking, but we just keep it all in one nice place. But first, we're gonna start with Patreon, and then we'll move into our Twitch and our YouTube and our Twitter and Facebook stats next.
You skipped my one shot.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I wanted to talk about how my team was ridiculous.
Yeah. I just stuff, got distracted.
Oh, I should have had the camera set up. I can't show you it, but I had the camera set up. Where basically I mashed up Stars Without Number and the X-Wing Miniatures game to make Star Wars Without Number, where it played like normal Stars Without Number, but then whenever they got into a ship battle, it would switch to the game board and they would be in a Star Wars dogfight. And then I set it in the Star Wars universe. And I had the team go on a mission to steal the plans for a new fighter that was being developed by the Empire, and so they were supposed to go to a base, steal the plans one way or another, and then optionally they could blow up or steal the actual prototype ship. And
what did they do?
Plan. So it all went normally at the start. They captured an officer that was on his way there, and I was like, one of them has the ability to make someone forget something. So I was expecting them to go to the guy that they captured, forget that we're here, fly us to the base, and then he would just fly them in, go about his business, and then they'd sneak out. But they were like, no, we capture him, we break his finger to get information, then we heal it, because we can, with psionics. We send him back to the rebel base, we impersonate him instead, using more biopsionics to make one of us look more like him, and then we infiltrate that way, with everyone impersonating like crew members of the ship.
So they took the hard way out.
Yeah. I think that the psionic that can do telepathic stuff forgot that they can make someone forget something like that.
Oh no.
And I guess they're watching. You could have done that, Amy. You could have just been like, forget there are rebels, and then he would have flown you to the base.
Oh man, that's crazy.
But when they got there, they then took it a little bit further than expected. They stole the plans by pickpocketing a moth that was visiting. And then they blew up the observation lounge with the bombs instead of blowing up the ship, killing the moth and another high-ranking official who was there to view a test of the prototype. At the same time, in the hangar itself, one of them snuck up behind and broke the neck of the admiral in charge of the base. Then there was a shootout with the most accurate stormtroopers in history that nearly got
Was it just because the rolls were so good?
Yeah, I posted the rolls in the Legends chat because four stormtroopers fired shots. Two of them crit, the other two rolled high enough to hit. All did considerable damage and nearly killed both of the people they were firing at. They were splitting their shots and still managed to do a ton of damage, but they jumped into ships. And then they stole the prototype ship, flew off with that, and they stole totally not the Millennium Falcon, which happened to be captured and stationed in the Imperial base at the time. Oh, and they murdered a technician because there was a technician working on this ship trying to get it operational, and they were like, "Watch this!"
Why would they take him with?
they fixed the ship up and then distracted him looking at the bridge controls, while the other guy then stabbed him in the back and instantly killed him.
Why wouldn't they take the technician? He knows how to
he was so enthusiastic about the work. He's like, "Oh, you managed to fix it. I couldn't get it to work. I never thought about bypassing the compressor." And then they just murdered him and hid his body in the smuggler compartments of the Falcon. And then they blew up half of the part ships in the hangar, and then some of the ships chased them. They blew up most of those as well, and then jumped away. It's like, that was a lot better than expected. 3 high-ranking Imperials are dead. 1 is captured. You've got the ship. You also have the plans. Also, no one's in charge of that base anymore because they're all dead. Also, the ace pilot that was supposed to fly the ship is also nearly dead and bleeding out in the hangar.
People are going to be looking for them.
Mess. And yeah, so that was very fun to run.
You don't need me to derail your plots, mate. You just... The legends do it well enough.
I know. Well, I was like, this was an experiment because previously I've done relatively linear stuff. Whereas with this, I'm like, okay, you're in the rebel base, go. And then they just followed what paths they liked, and some stuff I expected and some stuff I didn't, and that was cool.
Did you do all of it on the board, or did you do some of it with Theater of the Mind?
So anything stars with that number was Theater of the Mind. As soon as it went to ship combat, it went to the board. And there was a cool moment where I used the board as a map of the hangar they were in, with all the ships arranged. And then it's like, okay, you just hopped in a ship. Play. What's your move? This is the board. That was fun.
Nice. Cool.
And then they started flying around all the ships that they'd seen parked the whole time.
So when are you going to do this for us?
I was very excited about that. I would like to do that again for future Legends stuff.
I'm playing a psychic robot Jedi.
I made special Jedi rules for them, and they never used them because one of them took the ability to telekinetic armory, which means that you can summon a weapon, either ranged or melee, and armor for yourself. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rule that if you use that, then you activate a concealed lightsaber that can get through any security checks, because that is equivalent to summoning a weapon. And instead of having armor, your AC is raised by you deflecting shots with the lightsaber.
That makes sense.
But they never used it. They just shot people and blew everyone up.
Secret Jedi.
What do you want a lightsaber? Use that shit.
They might have forgotten. I told it a while ago. But yeah, that was fun to run, and I'd like to do that again.
I definitely want to play. I haven't had a chance to play any Stars Without Numbers stuff, or even any of the Legend tier stuff, because I've been so busy with that. So
I can't say, because secret things.
Okay, can I move to Patreon now?
I was excited. I wanted to talk about it.
No, that's awesome. So I'm sad that you don't have your camera thing set up, because usually he does, so you can show us. Actually, normally it defaults to that board.
Yeah, it likes to default to the camera that I have over the table.
Let's go quick over the Patreon quick updates. Just to go over them really fast, we have the poster went out for February. It is amazing. Our new artist is fantastic. Her name is Tarja. She is so cool. She is already working on March's stuff. I know we're running a little late due to having the art transfer. We are a little behind, so we're trying to get caught back up, but it might take us a little bit to do so. And she works a little bit differently than our previous artist. So I'm just trying to get it all worked out, but hopefully you guys really like the art piece. I definitely do. I love her art style. I don't know how you guys feel.
It's the background cool on 3 of my monitors, so just saying.
It's really cool. And then our animation stuff, I know people are probably wondering where that's at. We're waiting on our artist. He's getting back to us. I know that he's been busy. I'm trying to see if he actually responded to me, because I literally just sent him a message. I know it's Easter though, so he did send me a message back. So we'll talk a bit about that. And then merch stuff, we are waiting on our trademark, which how many more months is that, EE? That's a while.
We expected it to be fulfilled around September-ish.
Okay, so we're waiting on that stuff. And then Bentham, if you'd like to talk a little bit about the Patreon as far as numbers and things go. I think I've got all the marketing stuff out of the way.
Okay, so yeah, the again, like last month, there's a little bit of weirdness with how the patron count works. There are 2 different numbers, and so Patreon says that we went up by 4 patrons, but we were at 600, and now we're at 595. So we've gone down by 5. So I don't know how that works. They keep reporting that we've gone up by a couple, and we've gone down by a couple. It's very confusing. They're like that. They have weird stats, and they don't tell you, like, they don't give you proper sources of, like, where the stats come from. It's just like, this is what it is. It's like, but why? How does that make sense? Like, 5 plus 4 isn't 0. I don't... So yeah, I think we've gone down by 5 at the moment. We're at 595 going into
Which is still pretty awesome. So thank you guys, all of you, for helping support us. We know that we've had some crazy months in the past where just like a ton of people were like, you know what, I can't normally support, but I'm going to this month. So that was pretty amazing for us there.
Yeah.
And obviously just all the support that you guys provide us allows us to run all these shows. Hence why we've been running a half-third show, which has been a little rough on us, but I think like at the same time, it's been really fun for us to do. I think
in future for a third show, we will definitely have to plan ahead to have extra admin stuff involved because it's a lot of work.
I think we also need to plan it. If we did a third half show like that, we'd need to plan it on a month-to-month basis because of the fluctuation in Patreons. So that's just something that like on our end, that was bad budgeting on our end, but like we're just looking at it and considering all of those things.
Just want to do more RPGs and give you more RPGs.
I know.
Yeah, there's something I hope we can keep doing of like occasionally in a particular month we're like, we have enough spare that we can like run a cool thing this month and do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that is...
Sorry, and in terms of the drop in patrons, like we did say that Maggie briefly said that we saw like a load of people were like, we're going to support at a higher tier for a temporary period of time because, you know, can't afford to do this all the time. And that lasted, that was like November or October, and that has lasted through till now. And I think we're seeing the bleed off from people who are like, we're only doing this temporarily, but they did it for temporary long time. So it's not like we're seeing people like leaving. I think it's people probably like... most of just general people downgrading or popping off for a while as their finances fluctuate because, you know, it's still after Christmas time. So
yeah, and we totally understand that stuff. Like I think just having people support us in any way is possible is great. Like what we have right now has been amazing, and the fact that we're able to pay 2 full casts and a half a cast, and we'll have a show.
Yeah,
the full cast for half a show.
Most RPG shows our size, well, most RPG shows don't seem to pay people, so I like being the good guy. I like being the good guy.
I've been on a lot of shows, like people who know me, I've been on a lot of shows, and a lot of them don't pay. And I mean, I personally don't care because like I want to help bolster the RPG community, and I just generally am, I think I'm an addict. I just love doing RP stuff. So
the first step is admitting it.
It doesn't always matter so much to me on that regard, but I think for some people, like it is a nice bonus because, you know, some people live off of their streams. And I think in a lot of our cases, we have a lot of full-time YouTubers, full-time streamers, and I think that your guys' support helps them in immense ways. I think, you know, even Blue Jay was talking to us about it, and well, I know she was talking to me about it one night, and saying that it's been amazing that like we're able to pay our full cast, and we're timely about it. We always, I mean, EE's been great about that. Like when we know we got paid, we send that stuff out, and we do our best to contract people now, which puts us on a whole nother professional level. And I think that's been pretty cool, and it's all because of you guys supporting us.
Yeah,
so
like obviously we've got a Patreon so that we can pay for like things for you guys, for like art and budgets and stuff and admin costs.
Art's expensive, by the way.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
And like, since we have to take money for that stuff, I would feel awkward if we were like, people come join us for a show, and they're like, so you've got a Patreon and you get money in, like, yeah, but not for cast. I'd feel awkward about it. So I'm glad we can pay cast. We can pay them a decent amount. Ideally, see that raise in the future would be great.
Oh, and we're even now able to pay our mods because you guys. So thank you. Like that.
We don't pay our mods. We tip our mods so they can go get themselves a drink for doing good modding work. We do not pay our mods.
It is kind of more of a tip. It's not as much as.
Yeah.
It's not really.
And it's not contractually or anything. It's just nice. We're like, here's a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice, like with everything else, that like all the roles that we have like set amounts and everything, so that we can guarantee.
I have a spreadsheet
because we're able to. Yeah.
Notice the Maggie thing there. I have a spreadsheet and a budget. It's so good.
I love spreadsheets.
Like we can add everything up and be able to be like 100% sure. Like, yes, we can afford to do X thing, and we can pay X person X amount for doing whatever, and like.
I still think we should save up for that Roll4It yacht. Just my opinion.
That's what it's all for, really. The Roll4It streaming yacht, where we will stream live games from.
And that way we can travel to go pick up Maggie and Lauren and
What do you
Bluge.
do with these guys are crazy. You realize that a yacht does not have good internet. Most
That
like
might be soon.
most
Elon
internet
Musk
connections
launching
out
that
there.
satellite internet.
what?
Get that
Elon
satellite
Musk's
internet,
launching
yeah.
the satellite internet. Isn't it like over 1,000 or something? I don't know.
Okay, right. Roll for
How
it private
expensive?
plane so we can get to you guys and you guys can get to us. And then we can just do the roll for it from a house.
It's also expensive, but probably more logical, I think.
Okay,
Both for private
so
jet and either pilot or flying lessons for one of us.
Yeah. He's like, I want to fly.
Put it on the Patreon goals.
Patreon goal, buy a jet.
Hundreds of
No,
thousands, and just be like,
Let's just get ourselves to a
Yeah.
third
20
show.
million, I think, is the cost for a jet. So there we go, 20 million.
Let's get ourselves to a third show first.
that's a
Third
jet a
show
month
or
though,
jet?
so you can.
There's a jet a month. There we go, we have
Oh.
12 jets a year.
And on the Patreon
It's
front,
like,
I know that once we get closer to our 1 year from the revamp or our annual revamp type of thing, we are going to be reassessing things and talking to you guys and getting your opinions and doing some stuff like that. So similar to what we did last year when we revamped our whole Patreon, we're going to do some stuff like that. Probably not on like a grandeur scale like that. But do keep in mind that in a few months we will be asking you guys for your feedback. So as you're watching stuff, as you're seeing how we're doing things, as you're getting your rewards for different tiers, do keep in mind what you like and what you don't like, or what you think should be moved around and stuff like that, because that feedback is going to be super helpful for us. I mean, we made some tiers and we made some stuff that we're like, no one's going to do this, but 3 people asked for it, so let's do it. And now 8 people are paying for that. So, you know, things like that we just didn't think about and have been pretty crazy for us.
In general, the general gist we have at the moment is most people are quite happy with the tiers, and we seem to think that people really like the tiers, and that's good. We could do some stuff with the goals and shift things around a little bit, but it might
I
be.
think making smaller goals that are more
Yeah.
attainable is going to be something that we
I
are
think
looking forward
2
to.
things that I'm keen on, for instance, are being able to pay the cast more. Just so that we can be like, the cast are getting paid good, and we can make sure we have a good cast who are always happy to be here and skip other gigs or whatever they have.
There are other shows that have been the ones that do pay. There's not a lot that pay, but the other ones that do pay, we're not as competitive, I would say, in the range sometimes. Some of them pay more than us, some of them pay less than us. So we're kind of like, I think, in the middle. But there are some
Yeah, I think so.
I want to be the very best, best there ever
there are
was.
some shows that pay a lot more than us. Or not even a lot more, just like quite a little bit more than us. So we would like to be at that level if possible someday as well.
and also more live shows, because we could totally do like a couple of live shows a year. I want to do that.
I want to do a couple live shows. And I think if we make the goal a little bit more attainable and we do a couple instead of once a month, I think we'll be able to make that budget
Once
a
a
little
month,
bit
I don't
more.
think we'd have the admin capacity to do once a month. That's a lot of admin.
No. We talked about it and we're like, that's insane. So I think for us, we're gonna be revamping stuff. So stay tuned for that. And let's just go through stats really quick here. On Twitch, last month we had a lower peak viewership and a lower average viewership, but we know exactly what's causing that. So we're going to, talk over it and look over the stuff that we can do. A lot of it, I think, is scheduling, not on our front. Other shows have now moved their times into our slot, which
The
has
Sunday
not been-
slot was our
think a lot of-
traditional, historical, good slot. The most we've ever done is shift it from 8 p.m. UK to 6 p.m. UK. That's all we've done. It's always been a good slot. And now people are nicking our slot. I'm unhappy.
I think a lot of the drop in viewership though with this particular month is the fact that last month was when we had multiple new shows appear, and this month is all those shows continuing and ending. So you aren't going to get less that way.
True. That's also another thing to think and keep in mind. So we know that those are like, if you guys are concerned, because I know some people are looking at numbers and being concerned, we are not concerned. So fear not, my friends. We are working very hard and we have lots of really cool shows coming up, and Layla is kicking butt, and I'm very excited for season 2 of that. We have
And punching
Cheese.
groins. Kicking butt and punching groins.
Yeah, so it's going to be good stuff. And we got quite a bit of viewer gains as well as subs. We've been doing great on subs. I think we're, how many away? We're a little bit away from our sub points in order to get emotes, but we're getting there. And I know
I think
we have
a lot of people have seen that though on Twitch because A, there was a bug that lost a fair few people some subs, and secondly, the introduction of gift subs caused people to be like gift subs and gifting a lot of subs to people. And then the newness and the fancy, oh, look, this new thing wore off, and people don't use them as much now. They use them still, but they don't go crazy with them as they did when they initially launched. So we did see a slight peak there.
Yeah, we saw a little bit.
Awesome,
it's not too much. It's not too bad. No. But I think we do have some new emotes being made, right? I think Bentham, you were reaching out to artists for that.
Maybe. I'm currently talking with artists and working out cool. What to do with that. We have in mind a couple that we can make.
Yes, new emotes are going to be made, so we're excited about that. And generally, we've been doing really good. The following on Twitch has been increasing, and we've just been continually growing. That's what we want to see. So, doing good on that front. Does someone want to take YouTube?
I normally would, but my page for some reason is not loading. I'm not sure why.
You want to talk about YouTube?
I'll take YouTube then. Okay, so in the past month we have gained 168 subs, bringing us up to 8,635, and the I think most viewed video actually.
That's the most viewed video that came out this last month.
Okay. Most viewed video that came out this month is Pirates of the Broken Skies Episode 6, All Hands Battle Stations. That's an interesting one. Was that the first one of the month?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think, yes, it was. Yeah.
There's always a bias for the one that's been up the longest to get the more views, but that one was the one where we had the actual pirate ship battle. Well. That was a cool one.
Yeah, that was a cool one. And then the second video is like the top viewed from all our videos from that month.
So the one that's had the most views this month that wasn't out this month is Pirates of the Broken Skies Episode 1 still. It's still holding that spot. I think
it was last month. It was last
month that it came out.
It was last month's top video that came out that month.
Okay, so it did come out last month.
No, it can't have come out last month.
It came out January.
It came out January, but the end of January, so it didn't get the peak viewership, I think, because it was the very end of January, right?
Yeah, so even now...
Been on the list for a long time. But yeah,
even now, over 2 months later, it is still getting the most views every month out of everything that we're doing.
18,000 views. That's pretty sick. Hopefully people get through it all so we can have all of them be 18,000 views.
That's really a lot. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot.
Watching D&D.
Yes.
It is a cool thing that as we're growing, it seems like I'm looking around and also seeing tabletop RPG stuff growing in general.
Even some of the smaller shows have grown, like their concurrencies. Like I was watching this one show that I've been watching, and they normally have like 14 concurrent viewers, and now they have like 56, and I'm like, yeah. It's just cool seeing a lot of shows that maybe deserve more love that haven't gotten a lot of love. Seeing like them us. Grow. Yeah. Hey, we've a lot of.
Hey, I need a lot of love. Okay, just saying, I need a lot of love.
We have good viewership, so I think like you guys have been amazing in supporting us, and like all of our we just have insane support. So I think that I can never be thankful enough for that. So
I can never be loved enough.
EE wants more love. EE always wants more love. You give him a little, and then he wants more.
Nobody gives me a little anyway, so it's fine.
Lies. And then just going through Twitter and Facebook really quick. Twitter, we've continued to grow. We've continued to have great impressions. We had 578,000 impressions last month, which was great, or this month, which has been crazy. Yeah, that's insane, right? We had over 3,000 profile visits, which is really great. That means people are looking at our content, and we even had less content this month than we had last month, which is interesting. Not by much. It was 86 versus 93. That's how many tweets I've made, I guess. Our top tweet was actually our International Women's Day post, which I thought was really cool because I put that together really fast. And I was having the hardest time finding a photo for Salem. I was like, oh, I guess I'm just going to use this. I just used her.
I think you need like a little image of success baby meme for that. Like,
yeah. And it's also our top mentioned tweet, which I think that's interesting. I don't know why it is, but it is. And then our top media tweet is actually Code 2050 episode 4, which I think it's because like everyone that was on the cast like retweeted it and stuff like that. It's the one where Brandon his character Evan first had the coin stuck in him, so that's when he first goes into.
I mean,
that was the beginning of the second arc, so that might be.
Oh yeah, that might be it. Yeah.
I'm just saying that there were 3 things that happened at the end of the month that didn't have much time to get popular, which was the compilation from Layla season 1, the trailer for Layla season 2, the trailer for Chief's Quest. All of those were top quality tweets that just they didn't have much time to run the numbers before the end of the month. They might show
up in April's because it goes off to like the last like 30. So
Okay.
I'm actually going for the last like 20, 38 days. So
especially like the Layla stuff, because that was posted literally yesterday on the 31st. So
yeah. So those aren't going to show up right now, but they definitely had really high impressions. So thank you guys for all of the support. I'm glad people really like that compilation because I made it in like 5 minutes. I was like, I need an asset. I don't want to reuse the same assets. I'm going to make a video really fast. And it worked out pretty easily because people have clipped some really funny parts.
So if you are watching, please continue clipping and try and get other people to clip as well. And then we can go through the top clips and be like, these are the best parts. And we can make funny videos like that because of your genius clipping skills.
Yes, we'll do more. And then on the Facebook front, Facebook has just been continually growing as well. We got another new review, and I've been going through and responding to all the people who have reviewed our Facebook podcast. We're labeled as a podcast. I really don't know what else it was like the best option for us.
Yeah, they really don't give a good selection. There's definitely not Tabletop RPG Show on the list.
Yeah, but everyone has left us some amazing reviews, and the only 2 bad reviews that we have are 4-star, and they're all because they're saying fuck E because he killed James. But they all are saying nice things other than that. So it's been pretty amazing, and we really appreciate it. And I know it seems very silly, but it helps support us. Our likes have increased, our followers increased. We were just having a discussion about that because we're like, why is there likes and follows? Why not just 1? And in general, our reach has been pretty great. We had 1,386 people that we've been able to reach, or 1,386 people that we've been able to reach. And our post engagement has been 1,314, which is a crazy amount of engagement. That means a lot of people are liking, sharing, or leaving a comment. And I do my best to reply to people as quickly as I can.
She does. The one few days Maggie was away with work and me and Bentham were trying to cover social, we were like, how do we do this as a Facebook thing? Let's log into the Facebook thing. And we were like, there's lots of comments and stuff. Oh, Maggie has replied to everything. That's wow. That's a lot of things.
You guys never logged into the Facebook? Sometimes people think I'm you.
Facebook pages work.
I just go with it. They like think I'm you, and so I just respond.
I have never touched the Facebook. That is one of the few things that I have never touched. I have never touched the Facebook.
He refuses to. He makes Bentham do it. He's like, I'll do social. I was like, well, you have to do.
Because it's always been Bentham's job. That was Bentham's job before you were even an admin, I think, right? Well, that was.
Well, you can't split up Twitter and Facebook. You like whoever's doing social just does both because it's weird to split them.
I will admit I didn't do a good job of managing the Facebook when I was given that job, because I made a page and I'm like, I don't know what any of these buttons do. And then Maggie came along and made it all okay.
Wait, you guys had that Facebook like before, like wait that long?
I had made one, and then I'm like, I've managed to give it a profile picture. I've managed to make it say we're a podcast. How do you post? Every button says pay more money to get your stuff seen.
Oh yeah, don't hit those.
I know, it's like a minefield.
Once you do it, then Facebook will be like, oh, we're not going to show your stuff to any of your followers.
Yeah, it's like
really dangerous. You do get lots of good viewership from it. I will say that, like, if you promote a big event on Facebook, you will get viewership from it, and people will come watch your Twitch stream. But the problem, like for people out there who are thinking about using Facebook ads, it does work. But it also does not work because those aren't people who end up staying. They're like, it's a lot of just like immediate and then they go away. So it's like you get initial boost and it gives you boost. And then you just like retroactively are like, now they're all gone. And then you have all these followers who are not interacting with your stuff, which is not good.
Yeah, Facebook like tells me that my Enter Elysium Facebook page is like, oh my God, dude, like the other day you got like 2 interactions. And I'm like, that's because you hide my stuff because I'm not paying you.
Yeah. It is a struggle. So, and that's going to be it for all of the stuff that we talk about. definitely took longer than I expected. I think because we talk like the beginning part, we talk a lot about that stuff. I don't know.
We will be under the last video though, so we will have got shorter. It will be the first time a newsletter has been shorter than a previous newsletter, unless we continue for like 27 more minutes.
It's happened before. Yeah, I was gonna say I felt like this one was definitely a lot shorter.
Okay.
It's just less than an hour right now.
I feel like I'm being horrible because I'm like continually trying to move it on. I even forgot about the GM one shot because I'm like, let's go. Because I was just looking at the next thing on the thing. I was just trying to go. But yeah, I think like from all of us, the major thing that we can say is like, thank you so much for all of your guys' support. It has been crazy, amazing, a journey that we cannot thank you guys enough for. We have a lot of cool things planned. We're already looking into May. I know that's crazy. And beyond. I think some stuff is scheduled out until August. So I think like we are definitely working on the back end to make things planned a little bit more ahead. I mostly am trying to make it so EE doesn't have as much work because I think a lot of things do get tossed onto you, but it's because they're literally things only you can do. Whereas the rest of us are like, we have consistent work, I think. Like
mine is peak and trough work. Like as soon as a new show starts, I get peak work. Once the show is going, I tend to get trough, which is nice, but
whereas
work is fun.
Bentham and I are like like we're constant, like always doing stuff. But I think with us being able to plan ahead allows you to get like contracts done early, so you're not like all of a sudden having a ton of stuff to do. So hopefully we can make sure that is happening going forward.
It's not like we're launching 2 shows in the space of a week again, and I'm doing my taxes this week.
Yeah,
that's not a thing.
We actually planned to not do that, and then we pushed all the plans back, and then we
moved Avalon. We're like, we'll extend Avalon 2 weeks, and Beth was like, you do realize it means we're launching 2 shows within a week.
Well, no, it was 2 things. You extended Avalon and you shortened Pirates, and that was like, so it went from a 5-week gap. We added 2 to 1. We took 2 from another, and it was a 1-week gap. And I'm like, we've done it again.
Because I would like to know, I had planned it so it did not fall that way.
It's true.
The second thing was, what was it called? Oh, we've been really ahead. Like all of our social assets and stuff for like Cheese are already out for the most part. Like our major announcements. So we're actually ahead, and it feels chill. We're going to be launching a new show, and we're not like stressed out the day before. That is
also a good point. We did get a new artist on board to do the assets for Cheese.
Yeah.
Elsa, who is one of our mods, who used to... I said the name right. When it comes to her art, she's done such a good job. I have to say her name right.
When it comes to other stuff, you're not willing to say her name right?
I treat people like crap most of the time.
So we've got Ilsa the artist and Ilse the moderator.
Yeah, pretty much. But she used to do like some fan art, and then she became a mod, and we saw that she did a vampire bunny a long time ago. And when we were talking about maybe we should get some characters done for Cheese Quest,
we had another artist that we were looking at as well. But we were like, Ilsa's like awesome, and she's an awesome part of our community. It'd be cool to like give back to our community, so it was cool that
she knows us, and she knows the vibes and stuff that we tend to go for, so it'd be easier to bounce off her. And she's done a great work, like a really short notice as well for some of them, so she's got them through really quick.
Cute.
It's so cute.
I love the scale once you get them all together. Like alone, they're really adorable, but once you get them all together, you're like, oh, the one that's so tiny. And
to be fair, that's not quite to scale. Bubba should be slightly bigger. Miss Marvel should be maybe slightly smaller as well.
A little smaller, yeah. I think the other two are
be bigger.
Yeah.
The other two are roughly the same size. Miss Marvel is almost the same size. Bubba should probably be a third bigger again. Because a normal mouse is about 7 to 8 centimeters max. Pygmy Shrew is about 5. Bubba is 20. So Bubba should be a little bit bigger.
Bubba's huge. I love it.
Bubba is big. But that's gonna be such a fun show. Looking forward to that.
I'm so excited for you guys to watch that show. And I can't wait. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But yeah, any other last words that you guys might have to say to people? Bentham, what is that face?
I don't know. It's the thinky face.
the thinky face.
I guess that should be.
He was like.
No, Bentham, you've got the goatee now. You can do the goatee stroke.
I could also do a small amount of mustache twirl.
Yeah, Maggie can really pull it off. That mustache there is glorious.
I know. It's the best. All right, I guess that's all we've got for you guys. Thank you so much. We hope that you enjoyed it. And as always, leave us a comment down below if there's things that you'd like us to change. You want it to be shorter. Please don't ask for it to be longer.
That's what he said.
We made that is what he is.
Hi, welcome to our super important admin newsletter thing.
Run a full show, and then we have an admin meeting, and then we do this after, because it's just that's how long our day is.
Which is why we're hysterical by this point.
Yeah, it's like a 12-hour day. We're going on 12 hours now. Almost.
This is our 10th hour.
So I think from us, all we can do is say thank you guys so much. We hope that this is good enough that it makes you guys' support feel like you're getting something in return for all of the hard work that we're doing on our end, and then all of the support that you're giving us on your guys' end. We have a lot more things planned. We're still looking at the future. We got a lot of stuff down the line. So I hope you guys look forward to it, because I do.
Having so much time off from GMing, I've got like a few things that I really want to GM now, and it's great. But yeah, thank you so much.
Throwing like tens of thousands of ideas at us, and we're like, dude, just get through the 2 that you have right now.
Well, to be fair, Cheese Quest only lasts 6 weeks, so it's not long. We should start planning for the next one already.
We already are. We actually have the next one after Cheese Quest already planned. You just need to send the contracts out.
Yeah, but that's not a full one. That's just a... Yeah.
Okay.
Secrets. We don't even have a project name for that yet.
I know.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.